All companies are established by their owners for a purpose. And of course, the owners will differ depending on the company type. In the case of companies limited by guarantee, they're members. In the case of private, publicly listed companies, they're shareholders. In the case of government-owned corporations and statutory bodies, they're the shareholding minister. But a core part of any governance framework is what are the owner's expectations of the company and indeed therefore the board. And it's really important to have clarity and good communication around that. At an extreme, the risk of a miscommunication is that company performance doesn't meet the owner's expectations, and then the owners exercise one of the few powers they reserve for themselves, and that's the right to remove a director or indeed the whole board. So what's the answer to this? And I think it's setting out in a very simple statement, 6 to 8 bullet points is fine, owners' expectations. And this can differ depending obviously on the company type, but the sort of things that you'd expect owners to set out is, what's the purpose for which they've established the company and what do they expect of it in terms of its future? Is the aim of the company and the owner's investment in it to grow the company? Is it to list it? Is it to get a trade sale? Is it to get a management buyout? What are some of the performance metrics that the owners want to be achieved? Revenue, profit, return on investment, whatever they might be. What's the values on which the owners expect the company to operate? How should the company treat its people? What's the role of the company in society and the communities in which it operates? And importantly, what matters do the owners reserve for themselves to decide, and what matters are they happy to delegate to the board? I also think it's really important for the statement to set out what sort of reporting do the owners want from the board. What's the content, what's the frequency, and what sort of communication do owners expect in between those regular reporting cycles if, for example, a major risk manifests itself or a particular threshold is met. If you want to look for some guidance on a statement of expectations, another area in which you can find it is in the federal government context. So many federal ministers issue statement of expectations to statutory authorities, and likewise they set out what their policy objectives and performance expectations of those authorities are. So particularly if you're in a closely held company, such as a private company, I really encourage you to think about, have you got clarity on what the owners want? And that's important not only so that the owners are at one, but also that they've set out clearly what they expect of the company through the board.